The knockout rounds continue from Cary, North Carolina this morning, and here we have a matchup that is a good one. Seleccion Potrero and Sergio Aguero's team, winners of the group, facing #United in the round of 32. Aguero's ready for his team to climb into the ascendancy, and we welcome you to Wake Med Soccer Park with the 19-year pro, Lloyd $1 Million Sam. I'm Neil Sika, here to have some fun. That's what #United is all about, having some fun, Lloyd. But they can play, and Seleccion Potrero, they've been one of the more polarizing teams of the tournament so far in the knockout rounds for the first time.
Two different demeanors. Very fun when it comes to PK Humble and #United, and then Aguero, so serious when they're coming in. You see how I'm sweating right now. This is going to be how the game is going to be conditioned. It's the hottest day I can remember for TST right now. How are they going to handle these conditions?
Hot conditions, but hopefully the game doesn't cool off, and we've got some back-and-forth affair. Looking at the lineups in this game to start, #United. Well, keep an eye on PK Humble, anything but humble, but in a good way. He is a sensation with his dancing, but also his goal-scoring prowess, and there's some good futsal stars that have shined for #United. Really interesting story. We'll get into it. And then Seleccion Potrero, which has Aguero starting. He did not start in that final game of the group stage. Frian and Friere have been very important, too, to the group. But they have been rough and tumble, not afraid to foul. There was really an eye-popping way to conclude that group stage game with the own goal from Aguero in protest after a red card that came in that game to their midfielder, Robertino Insua. Away we go on field one on a steamy morning for the round of 32, the knockout round. Seleccion Potrero, they won League One, they won Group L, and #United was second in Group I. They won their first game against Tobacco Road and then finished against Tactical Manager with a victory. Pasha Luxury defeated them, but they have played very well, Lloyd, in their 3 games, and they've made the knockout rounds each of their first 2 years, but they've never advanced past this point.
They've done extremely well. All 3 games, they're feeling confident. This part of the tournament is really unforgiving now. You know, you can get away earlier, but now you lose, you're going home. And I think that's going to condition how the teams play. You've got to be safe. And I would agree with that kind of motive. Start off safe, and then ease your way into the game.
Savelli, he's the spear of the back, but there is the pulse of the team. Kun Aguero, 5th all-time in Premier League goals. He even admitted last year, when it was known as Team Aguero, the group that he brought to TST, a bunch of my family members and friends. Now his 2 brothers are still on this group, but he recruited heavily from the Kings League, 7-on-7. It's a refitted roster. And they've looked apart on several occasions, but they've got themselves, or put themselves, into the crosshairs with some of the heavy fouls and the static nature of how they've played. Danilo has been very good in goal for Seleccion Potrero. Savelli.
Good ball. Oh, chance.
Left for Aguero. Feather it across. What a smash for the opening goal. Federico Friere, 1-0, Potrero. We welcome you to the knockout rounds, the round of 32 here at the soccer tournament. Seleccion Potrero, #United.
It's that
and the
pattern
goal
of play we've
Potrero.
seen straight up to the striker, and Aguero sets it. What a finish. Aguero gets the assist. The assist could have actually been better. That is a really good strike in the end from Friere. What a start.
Federico Friere, who opens the scoring after the hold-up play in minute 3.
Wow, what a start. And when it's hot like this and you get that early start, go imagine you bunker down now and conserve energy and you make # work. Aguero hasn't been the happiest in some of the games. Well, the last game be a lot happier now.
Settling in for some fun with the 19-year pro Lloyd Sam. I'm Neil Sika. We welcome our new audience where Seleccion Potrero, a very polarizing team led by Sergio Aguero. They're in the knockout rounds for the first time. It was known as Team Aguero last season. They went out in 3 games. #United. With that ball right in the middle and a low dart hit at Danilo. Good shot put in from right at the top of the box. Danilo has come up with clutch stop after clutch stop in this tournament. #United from Essex. One of their players and social media stars. Spencer Owen started it. He was a YouTube star, and they've become much more than that. Now playing in the Ismanian League. Rise to prominence there. Ball nudged out in the corner. Our soccer.com players to watch. Who else would you start with? Sergio Aguero, who hasn't scored in this competition. He does have the own goal yesterday. That wild ending to their game in the 3rd game of the group stage. PK humble. All the TikTok followers, but he brings the swag too with his scoring touch.
He brings a lot of fun. He brings entertainment, but it's not about entertainment right now. You're 1-0 down against Potero. Can he bring the goals or the assists?
Rian and Freire. They can front run with Aguero. They won their first 2 group stage games. They didn't allow a goal, and then in their group finale against Certified Lions, things got a little sticky. They lost that game 2-1. 2 consecutive yellows were given in the second half to their midfielder, Robertinho Insua. There's a foul here on Freire, the goal scorer. Harry Haysom. John Mata is our referee for this game.
Yeah, he's not happy and he's still down. Let's see why he's not happy. It wasn't that bad when I see it again. Maybe that's what we're gonna see. You go 1-0 up, you go down easy. Take some time off that clock.
Haysom is the vice captain, so the foul there. Renato Civelli has committed some heavy fouls in the competition. Year 3 of TST. Here in the great city of Cary, North Carolina, outside of Raleigh. Soccer passionate. Got a run in the penalty area from a Potrero player. You can't do that when the possession is in your own defensive half. So #United meandering quickly, and Danilo goes into the save on Camilo Restrepo.
Camilo Restrepo, good technical player, got a couple goals already, but both of the shots at Danilo not been powerful enough. Similar saves he's made. Straight to the front man.
It's Aguero. This is Freon, fouled again by PK Humble. A lot of these #United players, they go into the baller league in the UK. Lloyd, you knew something about that because you're a baller in your own right.
No, you're the baller here. Yeah, PK Humble's made a lot of noise, especially with his dance, and he's got a song to go with it. If he scores a goal, you might get to hear it from Neil Sika.
Kind of wish you would have done that on camera to start. Here is Humble. A little drag back from Humble. Luke Makama. Simone Luke Makama. It goes inside for Restrepo. He's a futsal star. Simone Luke Makama. It's wrestled away by Thomas Granito.
That's good defending. Good play by #, though. They're moving the ball well. They've had 3 shots already that have needed to be saved. They've been the better team so far. Down on the scoreline, though.
Corey Rockwell should have been that as our referee today. Nick Strednak is on the bench. You've noticed that about #United, the way they've played in every game. The one they lost to Pasha Luxury, they were up 3-1.
Up 3-1. We know the dangers of target score time. It's 3-2 going into it, and it was a really bad mistake as well that led to the winning goal. seen it on social media. Look at this.
And off the turnover. In tight, Danilo. Lining things up in a straitjacket. Humble, a settling touch, and then a header straight onto the keeper.
Heavy pressure. Hashtag United again. This time the ball turned over. PK Humble at the back post. But man, Danilo, he's touched the ball more than anyone. The goalkeeper for Potrero. Here it comes to the back post. Humble heads it up. Hard to get the power on it.
Pablo Alvarado. Ambitious attempt from distance. Hot and smarmy morning here, heading toward the lunchtime hour in Cary, and that with a fourth game in just over a day, might affect the way this game goes throughout the 40.
I'm glad you reminded everyone how hot it was. I was just thinking about that.
Heavy humidity after torrential downpours peppered the area yesterday, but what a job by the grounds crew and the staff, allowing play to continue even through the monsoon-like conditions at times. Here's the wiry run out of the midfields.
Have a shot. You beat your man, you're edge of the box.
Josh Rosoke was sliding down the interior of the field for hashtag United. They're in the yellow and the blue. There's a good cutback ball inside, but the miss off the mark comes from Jamie Brooker. Never hit it cleanly, and then a foul.
Tell you what, that is a chance again. The cut back to the edge of the box. All he has to do is watch that ball onto his foot. It's not an easy one, but it's a good chance in the scheme of things in a knockout round.
Soaks on the back of his jersey. Rusok had a little time with Arsenal in the academy. Hashtag United. Boy, they went with 2 promotions and 2 mergers, Lloyd. Now they're in the Isthmian League. They were a non-league team all the way back in 2018, but quite the rise for this group of popularity. Hashtag United. There's another foul. It's a little sticky and stop-start. And the latest, Ezekiel Cohen making the trip in the channel.
We'll get the subs right on a day like this. They're coming on and off really quickly.
It should be noted, Robertino Insua is the player right on the field in the middle for Seleccion Potrero. He was the one that was red carded, 2 consecutive yellows. The TST Executive Committee reviewed the play and circumstances that led to that card and determined not to enforce the player's suspension.
Interesting free kick there, by the way.
And this is Insua on the ball, so able to play today. Just a wild sequence at the end of that game. An own goal from Sergio Aguero in protest. Never seen anything like it at TST.
Yeah, never seen anything like it.
But they carry on with their action here to the knockout rounds. And they are poised to be a tough out. They had not conceded a goal up until that 3rd game of the group stage. Corner kick coming here for hashtag United. Ruben Ordonez to take it.
Never seen anything like it, but it might help Aguero's team just to get together and feel like everybody's against us. You know, it makes you a bit stronger as a team.
It's a good little move inside, and the tying goal. Right on a platter on the welcome mat. It's all even at 1. Ramolarin. 1-1.
And it's a good finish. Good finish by Ramolarin. It gets cut back from the byline. And this is outside of the right foot. This is one of the harder finishes compared to some of the chances they've had. Good work from Daniel Mendy. It's been coming. Hashtag back in the game.
Over 59 goal contributions in 100 games for Toby Ramolarin. Well worked on the byline, and the game is tied at 1.
I'll be impressed with this start from hashtag. Created chances at will. Sometimes it's difficult to create chances on this kind of pitch. Maybe a team sits back. Not really sure what Seleccion Potrero's tactic is defensively. Not really sitting back, not really man-to-man. It is hot. That changes plans.
Now, that's the one thing you notice right away about #United. They weren't fazed by giving up the early goal 3 minutes in.
Not at all.
They've come back with the better chances and then finally hit pay dirt with the goal from Ramalaran. Driving run forward Romero. He's been excellent in this tournament, and a rolling shot from Del Castillo. Mauricio Del Castillo, one of the 2 Aguero brothers, still in the outfit.
High press, great stuff. No, that's not a foul.
Cohen, he felt he won it cleanly, but the foul given from Corey Rockwell.
Might be hard done by there. Again, Seleccion Potrero. Because this looked clean. High press, watch how the ball's taken. It's not a foul in a million years, that one.
Hold up play from Hyde. Daniel Mendy, he was the one that made that mazy little play to set up the goal, but now is shouldered in for the foul call. Late add to the roster, Daniel Mendy. Well, it's been a great tournament so far. In addition to all things TST, log on tst77.com/watch. All the other games, you can watch TST matches on YouTube throughout the tournament that aren't featured on ESPNU or ESPN Plus. Good crowd forming here on field 1. 1-1 with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Play 20-minute halves. Of course, the headline feature of this competition, target score time, game must end on a goal. We've had some thrillers, some wild comebacks, and resounding performances too. A lot of professional performances we've seen in some sticky games so far in the competition this year.
It's just going to get stickier now that it's knockout stages. I mean, Neil, imagine going into a game knowing you're going home if you lose. It's so different to group stages. Group stages, you have that security.
More importantly, now is when you start to dream that the $1 million prize is in sight on Monday night.
Still wondering what you would do with $1 million.
By the end of tomorrow night, I will have 5 bullet point items.
No, I need
you.
it in this game. Maybe by the second half, what you would do with $1 million. Maybe I'll tell you what I'll do as well.
I need a little gaudy watch.
It's about time you get a little Rolex or something. Is it time?
I got to keep up with you. Civelli. Little fling back for the Argentine defender. Many of the players on the roster, there are some small-sided pedigrees that Sergio Aguero went out to recruit, but there are still a lot that have great runs in the Primera Liga in Argentina. Potrero is a name for soccer with humble upbringings on the grassy patches and
good pass.
Tough neighborhoods. #United with Danilo coming out, and he makes the trip. It's a penalty. Andrade was leaking into the penalty area. He's brought down. #United has turned the screws around in this first half after trailing by a goal. Now they can take the lead.
It's a great pass, but Danilo, you've let down your team here. You've let down your team. The attacker is going away from goal. You're so late. You got to get that leg out of the way. Penalty to #, poor goalkeeping. And Dangilo's been good to this point.
Michael Andrade, a French futsal player. Gives way, but Danilo comes through with flying colors. He's denied Rusok on the penalty. And Seleccion Potrero is right back upfield.
Big moment, big save. Danilo makes up for his error.
Andrade.
Wow, good save there.
Squeezed out after the defensive work. Trion was over for cover, so Danilo makes amends. That's why he's been so good.
It was a good save as well. But it was his fault on the penalty.
He made the error, but
so,
look, he said, he puts my hand up, my fault, I'll bail you
like
out.
a net positive, you know, from that whole sequence there. Go give him a smack on the backside. Excuse my language.
Danilo, 4 games played with Boca Juniors.
Gotta say, Makama up there, number 19 for hashtag United. He's playing that front man role really well. Really good movement, really good link-up play. Now he's having some handbags with Civelli. Civelli's a bit of a dangerous man. Saw an elbow in the first game from him.
It's right off this field on the opening day of the competition in their win over Trident.
Ooh, front man.
There's a grapple at the top of the area.
Some grappling is allowed.
Alexis Andre Jr. is in goal for hashtag United. Here's the wiry Facundo Gamarra. Cooney sports team in the Kings League. Frion burst into the open field, and Santiago Frion with a high riser. Final seconds here of the first half.
Enjoyed this first half. You'd think cagey. It's not been as cagey as I would have expected.
But it's been intense.
It's been intense. As intense as you can run around on the heat. They're handling the heat really well. Better than me.
They put in the request for the towel that you wanted.
Towel and the fan. And a bucket of ice. Like Ashton Hall. Do you know who Ashton Hall is?
I've heard the name.
He puts his head in the bucket of ice with the lemon. Come on, man, you need to get on social
media. I believe you
media.
distributed some of that water.
That's
that
right,
uses.
Saratoga.
Well, with all of that in the rear view, we look forward to the second half. Ramalaran tied the game after the opening goal came on a great one from Friere. 1-1 at the break here in the round of 32.
The soccer tournament is presented by RBC Wealth Management, the official wealth management partner of TST.
Halftime here in the round of 32. Seleccion Potrero and Sergio Aguero got off to the great start, but hashtag United, hashtag replied 1-1 after 20 minutes of action here on Field 1, Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. First half stats brought to you by RBC Wealth Management. #United. A repetitive theme, Lloyd, continuing to play well and create chances. 6 shots on goal, and the penalty save by Danilo is also looming large.
To remind everyone about the penalty save. #, this is their 3rd year in the tournament, and they look like they're really prepped well to come back, and they've been the better team in the first half. I wonder if Aguero and his team now bounce back into it in the second half, but man, the heat out there is really going to affect this game.
#United, they've never advanced past that opening round of the knockouts. It's all to play for. The second half is coming up next from Cary.
Today's broadcast is presented by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of TST.
It's important to stay refreshed on a day like today. Very hot and humid in Cary, North Carolina. Day 3 of the competition. Men's knockout round, stage of 32. 2 places secured in the round of 16. Bumpy pitch and quick goal. First 2 winners in the morning session. Right off the kickoff, they look long. Seleccion Potrero for Franco Romero. Sika and Sam and Sika are a fine crew from Field 1 here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Corey Rockwell does not award the foul off that run in the channel after the defending from the 25-year-old Romero has been one of the better players on Potrero in this tournament. All right, so we saw the intensity, the nature of the conditions, a penalty saved by Danilo to keep it at 1-1. #United, good response, 6 shots. What are you keeping an eye on for here to start the next 20?
Any adjustments from Aguero and his team? You know, # were the better team in that first half. Created chances at will. Here's another one.
Villaverde rolling up the wing and rolling it along to the goal scorer, Toby Aramolarin. Got the goal courtesy of the run by Mendy and a fine assist. Aramalaran hits the side netting there.
Have a look at the formation for Potrero right now. It's all over the place. No striker. They done well hitting it into the striker initially. Aguero's gone out to the left wing. Okay, he's coming back in now, but I think you get back to that tactic of hitting the front man, get runners off of him, like they scored that first goal. But there's no central presence up top at the moment.
And once again, I'll bring it up. Going back to the brass tacks of this guy who scored more goals than most could dare dream of. They've played off of him in the target role, but he's got the own goal in this competition. How many shots has he really registered toward goal? Can they find him in an area where he can make the difference?
Still no goal for Aguero. No goal for his team anyway, but he would love to get one.
Slip into the middle, leads for a steal. Well, they wanted to send him on his way there.
See, that's where you need maybe a dynamic player there, and Aguero needs to be on the end of that next one, if you get what I'm saying, where can he just stay up front? You get some of those little guys, the Romero brothers, who can maybe craft something.
Liam Pal Freeman runs the middle of the park for #United.
And I talked about Romero brothers. They've not featured enough in this game. You need that dynamism, someone that can take someone on 1v1.
And the cross on the outside from Villaverde. Cultured his game in Spain and rockets one in the direction of Danilo. Corner taken quickly. In this competition, whether you've watched hundreds of games already or just a novice, can't be offside. There are no throw-ins. Target score time, the headline feature. Leading team score +1 after 40 minutes of regulation. In the current situation, it would be a next goal win scenario. Little dance on the outside, and then Freire, who had the fine goal for Seleccion Potrero, with the foul in this instance.
Interesting. The tactics from Potrero still not really sure how they're trying to. They've been really good the whole tournament, but this game is a bit more cagey now. It didn't start off like that, but I think that they realize is probably the fitter team, the team with more energy, and the team that's creating more chances, and they've adjusted a little bit.
Aramalaran misses the mark on the cross. Not to use the cliche of 4 games and the conditions in just over a day, but some of these older legs from Potrero might be feeling it a bit or conserving energy. This is one with young, sprightly pace. That's Franco Romero.
That's who I wanted to see.
His negative dribbling, though, leads to a #United corner. Oh, they go quickly. Aramalaran, pardon, wanted to turn around.
Get to it, Matt! Get to it, Matt!
Oh, this is better.
There's a lift for Aguero. Measured himself in. He felt the contact was coming. Villaverde racing back to defend.
That ball needed to be a little bit lower. It was a little bit too high. Aguero had to wait for it. But you saw the counter-attack there. There is an idea of how to score.
Seleccion Potrero, the corner. They wear the white uniforms. That's stripped from head to toe. Another corner that goes out. Five minutes into this second half. Tight angle. Alexis Andre Jr. Well, that French reality story, secret story. He started at Bristol Rovers. Lots of social media sensations on this roster, but they can play. Have you ever taken in a game in the Ballers League?
No, I've seen a lot of highlights on social. Oh.
Here's some nice little interplay, and it's off Danilo and then saved on the line.
Benito, diligent, working back. That was a really good opportunity. That opened up like the Red Sea.
Restrepo can't believe that he didn't convert.
Really good defensive play.
Well, let's start the campaign. #Lloyd Sam to the Ballers League.
as a coach, or
Just to watch. There's a header that goes over
I'll
from
go as a
Restrepo.
commentator.
They'd love to have you. You have to do the dance to get in on
I
entry.
gotta do the dance, the PK Humble dance. Not seen a lot of PK Humble since he started. Here is this play. Look at the football. One touch, and Granito just gets back. Really good defensive play.
Granito, a former teammate of yours.
That's right. And he can strike a ball. He hasn't had a chance to shoot in this game.
That was at Miami FC.
Here he is.
A titanic shot from Tomas Granito. And on cue, Seleccion Potrero rockets back into the league.
What a moment. We're just talking about Tommy Granito and his shooting ability. There's not many better at striking a ball. And it comes back to him. First time hit. Oh, hits that really well. Great goal by Tommy Granito. It's not his first one. Did we just summon that goal?
Yeah, we did talk it into existence. A massive blast in the victory over Atletico Madrid, which was 4-0. He's coming to an open space here. Granito.
It's a weapon. That right foot is a weapon. And when we played together, he would take all set pieces. 38 yards out, 40 yards. He's hitting them. He's hitting the bar, coming down, hitting the line. And he has that ability to strike a ball.
Well, I don't know if there's transference across sports. In baseball, if you make a great defensive play in the field and then you come up to the plate to get a hit, what he did, clearing a ball off the line.
True, just getting himself going.
And smashing in the go-ahead goal. Second of the competition for Tomas Granito.
I've been saying Potrero's been playing with no striker, but Granito's just been in the midfield. Is that a tactic of theirs? Get Granito those shots from deep.
He's no slouch. 2 caps with the Salvador national team. Sergio Aguero. It's a nudge in the back. Now there's a little chatter with Raul Villaverde.
Yeah, Civelli's protecting his star right now. It was a foul. I don't know why he's getting into Aguero's ear right there.
Here's the heart and passion of the competition.
I like how they're protecting Aguero right now.
Argentine roster. Yeah, Civelli's not going to
You don't
step
have
away
to tell
from
Civelli twice, do you?
No, you don't.
Oh, Civelli's still going on. He's
Corey Rockwell. It's a long-time veteran in Major League Soccer, an assistant referee.
got to say, in a game like this, you know, you're going against a big star. Look, he's getting into his ear. We don't want to see that, especially when it's a foul in the first place. You're taking advantage of, you know, a big star. You want to get in his ear and have a moment. But have your moment the right way. Do a footballing move past him or just tackle the ball.
It's Aguero.
Punishment.
Kun Aguero is keen on making the difference for Seleccion Potrero. His first true goal of the competition. It's 3-1.
Don't get that man angry. Do not get that man angry. What's a free kick? That's his first goal. Goes around the wall. And these are smaller goals than 11 aside. That is a great finish. You might think twice about getting in his ear. He's been places that you've never been.
That's what they came to see, the spectacle of Sergio Aguero. And one of his jaw-dropping scoring touches. And that from a free kick after Raul Villaverde was up in his grill. So this game, the screws have been turned, and Seleccion Potrero with 2 bombs from distance to take a 2-goal lead 10 minutes into the second half in Sua.
I can't say I saw that coming in the second half. 2 goals from distance.
And to think moments earlier, #United, they were right on the front door with a lead. There's a repel once and twice, and Alexis Andre, 2 clutch stops for #United.
Alexis Andre, he's been great most of the tournament. He hasn't let in 3 goals today, but no fault of his own. He's letting screamers.
Here's Humble, who sees some action for the first time since mid-first half. Step over's not working. Mendy lost possession. 3 on. Hard foul from Mendy. Not Mendy, rather, but a yellow card is coming out.
It's kicking off.
Goes at Ordóñez. Things have already escalated after the chirping in the face of Sergio Aguero after Raúl Villaverde got right in his face after the foul.
Here is the foul. There was a little bit of afters after it. Look, steaming in there. It's a foul, and then the ball was kicked at him after. Cervelli was getting closer. Then there was a coming together of some bodies on the sideline.
Shouldn't Mendy get a caution there? So they gave one to Ordóñez.
Very difficult for the referee to even know who to book there. There were so many little infractions there.
You know, but I'm just curious from your perspective, and it's nothing against Villaverde, but a relative unknown. You come to this competition, you played with the guy Thierry Henry.
Yes, yes.
Why would you awake a sleeping giant like that in the heat of the moment when the game is on the line?
Exactly that. You don't awake a guy that you know he's been places that if he really wants to dig deep, it's kicking off again. But no, it's a good question. It's a learning lesson for Villaverde.
They say go pick on Lloyd Sam.
Go pick on the guy that hasn't got all the accolades.
That's right. Take on a
Maybe
minnow.
he didn't see Sergio Aguero yesterday. He's been fired up about certain things.
He's already coming in hot and bothered after the way the game ended yesterday.
And he's due a goal.
Not in the great spirit of the competition, but little restitution today for Seleccion Potrero, leading 3-1. 7 minutes till target score time. Quick little nick toward the post by Gonzalo Garcia.
And I like the tactic of resting some of those stars right now for target score time for Potrero.
Rusok, known as Soaks, plays from the back, now over to Humble. They let a 3-1 lead slip away in the group stages. Can they come back from a 3-1 lead? Hashtag United. Humble puts it on his right boot and rockets it towards Danilo. They go quickly off the corner.
Here's Humble.
Humble, good work. Takes a crumple. He was going down first. Corey Rockwell saw that. And back upfield comes Potrero.
It's a physical game. There's a lot of bodies there.
Garcia, he felt he was fouled. Everyone going down now, including Mendy.
I think some yellows need to be issued just to calm people down a little bit, slow them down.
Ramalaran also was booked for hashtag United.
Well, there it was Gaston Del Castillo that got the yellow.
That was misidentity by the public address. Del Castillo had the yellow. Danilo darting out. Visit soccer.com, the official store of the soccer tournament. Good day for the bucket hat, featured by Lloyd Sam, but fantastic merch from all the teams that are involved. 4 teams from the top 4 leagues across the globe. Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga.
There's going to be more. I can see a lot more in the coming years. Get involved in the fun. If you're watching at home, inquire.
Lively few minutes here, Gonzalo Garcia, who had a goal in the first game. El Castillo floating it. He's one of the 2 brothers of Sergio Aguero, but his star has shined here today with that free kick goal, putting up Potrero 3-1. Jamie Brooker, his cross comes in. Potrero won Group L. Hashtag United finished 2nd in Group I. The winner will face Pumas de Alabama or AFC Bournemouth, who are making their debut in the competition. Pumas de Alabama, there are some offshoots from the roster of La Bombonera. There's the defending champs. Danilo comes out. A little spicy, and he took the worst of it, hobbling around, lobbing it off. After the mazy little run comes inside the penalty area from Tyreek Hyde.
Yeah, I was a little concerned about Danilo. The way Hyde goes through, it was studs up a little bit. I heard some boos from the crowd, but I think this might actually have been a dangerous attempt from Hyde because he's reaching for it. Takes on a man, and then watch at the end. Oh, the studs go right into his shin and knee. Here it is. Oh, yeah, that's a painful one. This is not time wasting, this one. He's been great in this game. Penalty save has changed the game. That would have been 2-1. Now Potrero up 3-1. It's a really big turnaround, big swing.
Danilo, 36, not only with Boca, the famed club, but Newell's Old Boys. He also had a career in Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay. Big component, gotta have a good goalkeeper. Adapt with his feet, can work the middle of the field. But he's made the clutch stops, and that penalty save, which could have had #United in the lead, potentially at halftime, kept it locked at 1. 2 goals in quick succession.
To notice, Sergio Aguero still hasn't come back on. He's getting good rest for when it really matters.
A major goal to deliver that third after Granito's stunning strike.
For people just tuning in, what happened? Let's let them know the Aguero goal. The beast was awoken by Villaverde getting in his ear, talking a little trash.
Moments earlier was fouled and then got over a crouched Sergio Aguero, Raul Villaverde, and was giving a little bit of chatter. It didn't go so well in the end.
Give the assist to Villaverde.
This is some good interplay though. Villaverde.
Speaking of,
he's an important player for them. They need all their bell cows to come shine now. #United. As it stands, they'll need 3 goals in target score time. It's looking like it could be 4, but there's 2 minutes remaining here in regulation. This is the knockout round of 32. Monday night, the championship on ESPNU in the men's division, also the women. Got underway yesterday, their field of 16. Stuart Cook stepping forward, went out of the midfield. Cook going on. There's a lot of clatter before it's finished off for the goal. And there's a pulse for #United.
big goal. Big goal, because you think of target score time. To have to score 3 unanswered is really difficult. 2, obviously, a little bit easier, and he bundles his way through here and then picks up the pieces, and a little toe under the keeper there.
Restrepo cleans up the crumbs after Cook did the dirty work.
Okay, that changes the complexion of things a little bit now.
Camilo Restrepo, who has scored for the 3rd time in 4 games for #United. And in the 39th minute, we're in the final minute of regulation.
It's been an entertaining contest between these 2 teams. When would you ever see 2 teams like this with this background ever play against each other?
That's the beauty of this competition.
That is the beauty of it. You got social media stars, an Argentine legend with his, it's just crazy.
I don't think there was ever a daydream from Raul Villaverde to even get the chance to think he could smack talk Sergio Aguero once in his life. But it happened. Team paid the price in the moment, but they're right back in the thick of it. Added time here in the second half. 3-2 Potrero. PK Humble forcing a little pressure, and now there's some vibrancy back in #United.
He's been quite physical. He's been aggressive. He has to be. It's that sort of time. Knockout stages.
Stuart Cook from the back has been a catalyst getting forward. He had the run that led to the Restrepo goal moments ago. On that cross in, there were open bodies on that near stick, including Villaverde.
I'd say the back stick there was a couple, but if the ball was better, I could have been tied up right before target score time.
Still not quite there. That is 8 seconds on Danilo. And now they have to hustle. Now it's an indirect free kick at the corner flag. You can't stall on the ball. That's what they were doing. They had to play a progressive pass, and Corey Rockwell signifies to the corner. So one last moment here for #United in regulation.
That might be it.
Cross coming in from Cook. Well, there wasn't much of a moment, but the plot thickens, heading to target score time, which is still 4, but #United is back within 1 after that 39th minute goal from Restrepo.
All I'm going to say is this is the game you want to watch, and this is the period you want to watch.
Target score time is next.
The soccer tournament is presented by Adidas, the official fanwear and performance footwear partner of TST.
If we have to go, we go. We don't hesitate. We go and press. If they
TST also means target score time. Leading team score +1. Seleccion Potrero leading 3-2. So we play to 4. And every 3 minutes, we don't hit target score time, there's a player removed. Round of 32 here in Cary, North Carolina. #United. Once again, their story. YouTube star Spencer Owen. With the team moving into a non-league role in 2018, but they've had 2 promotions, 2 mergers. On the indoor soccer stars who play in the Ballers League, futsal, all across of not only England but Europe. And then there is one of the great figures in the history of the English Premier League and Argentine football, Sergio Aguero. Can you believe it's been, what, 13 years since that unbelievable ending for Manchester City? Yeah, that Martin Tyler goal call to win the Premier League.
If he scores, can I get a Martin Tyler Aguero scream like that? If he scores the winner. PK Humble will have something to say about that on the other side.
I think that's copyrighted for Mr. Tyler. Sika and Sam and Sika ready to play to 4. Well, the resiliency here from #United, it was looking a little bleak and after the 3-1 deficit, but that's a big goal from Restrepo in the 39th minute for a compelling argument now.
Dare I say a game of 2 halves. The old cliche, all #first half. Potrero really upped it in the second half.
Palfreyman, Cook, leading ball. Cook stays with it. It's been a big aggressor coming forward out of the back. They moved him wide. He does earn a corner here. Working it quickly. Zavelli didn't close it down. Oh, it was right there on the welcome mat for Ramalaran, who had the first goal for #United. He was open.
Yeah, the set. How has it gone that high in the end? Just have to lock in that last bit, and that should have been tied up.
Chase on the outside around Cook. One more goal wins it for Potrero. That was a wonderful little move off the byline by Restrepo to set up Ramalaran at the other end for #United. Corner here though for Potrero. Friand Wanted to wedge himself on Soaks. Not able to do so. Now the push out.
What's interesting is Sergio Aguero didn't play the last 8 minutes. I thought he would come back in beginning. Maybe they're waiting for some numbers to dwindle down.
Maybe in a 4v4 situation, 3v3.
They do have one goal they can allow from hashtag. Hashtag is they can't allow it, they can't make any mistakes.
Going out in the opening round of the knockouts each of their first 2 years of the competition, 2023 and 2024. Seleccion for Cook. Up on the play. Ramalaran swarming. Pal Freeman chasing after it. Tumble over from Granito, one of the goal scorers. Granito still down.
Went back a long way there to give that foul.
And then he gives the yellow to Liam Pal Freeman.
That's so bad. That is so bad. You're allowed to scream and roll around. Dictate you.
Yeah, the target score goal of Pal Freeman in their opening game against Tobacco Roll. Took the Adidas Golden Fleece. Goes to the winning goal scorer. And they get lifetime entry into TST and TBT. Day 3 of the competition. Crowds have hung tough through some choppy weather. We've gone 3 minutes. A player from each team comes off. Playing to 4 here in the knockout rounds of 32. Potrero and hashtag United. There is Sergio Aguero on the ready. But we're down to 6v6. Ramalaran turned and revved the engine. Freire. He's got one of the 3 Potrero goals. Granito and then Sergio Aguero with something spectacular off a free kick. It was 3-1.
Let's go get back up quickly. Man down.
Seleccion on the trot. Alejandro Seleccion keeps the fight alive, wins possession. The shot from Villaverde. It's blocked. Not a lot of numbers in the attack. But some good hold up here and a great leave. Wow. What a save, Alexis Andre. Keeps the tournament alive for hashtag United, and he smothers Pablo Alvarado's chance.
Federico Freire, that is unbelievable stuff up top, holding it up and making the pass. And this is a really good save. Look at this front man play. The little drag and then the pass. It's a good chance, and Andre in goal, doing what he's been doing. Can that finish go a little bit towards the corner? And the tie is over. If that happens.
Aguero is back out there. Sergio Aguero.
His body's too big. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
What a turn. Sergio Aguero. Little nick off the ball. That's great defending by Seleccion.
That was a mismatch, wasn't it? They got to get Aguero like that a couple more times.
They got him isolated. Now he's bursting open in the middle. Sergio Aguero! It's not the Premier League title, but it's the round of 16 at TST for Seleccion Potrero.
It feels like the Premier League title. What great tactics. He's rested for about 12 minutes. He's come on and he's rolled the defender twice. Nearly scored the first one. Give that man the golden fleece. And here's the goal. He gets into position and look at the instincts, just to turn. He knows where the goal is. That is all striker's instincts there. Roofs that into the back of the net. Into the next round. What a really good tactics from Potrero. Letting their star rest. Getting ahead, and that's 2 goals for Aguero. Golden fleece. There's the smile on Sergio Aguero. We've been waiting to see that smile.
The Adidas Golden Fleece. The best on the field saves his best for the biggest moments. 2 goals for Sergio Aguero, 4-2. Potrero into the round of 16.
Man, got to give hashtag United credit. They've come, they competed, they done, you know, they're giving a good account of themselves. Aguero was just too much. He saved it for the right time, Sergio Aguero.
For Lloyd Sam, I'm Neil Sika. Coverage continues next. Boca Dallas Reggae Rovers here in the round of 32. The soccer tournament from Cary, North Carolina.
Cheerio.